What's up, guys? Welcome back to Proxima Reviews. We have another Airsoft with us today, another very well requested and very well recommended Airsoft for me to review, and this is the M977. Right. So this is the M977, and it does look cool. So thanks for recommending it to me. So this M977 cost me $550 on Lazada. And that wasn't so much. That's why I just went out and tried to buy it, because a lot of people were telling me to get this one because it looks cool, and yeah, it does look cool. So I hope it works well too. So what is this? What is the 977? I just saw here that it said number 779. So I don't know if 977 was a mistake or if it's really 779. But then if you search it on Lazada or Shopee, I bought this on Shopee actually. It's M977 there. So okay, then let's call it the M977 then. So what is this? It's actually an AK47. To me, it kind of looks like an AK12 because you don't really see an AK47 in a very tactical format like this with with an exposed barrel like this one. See, there are vents here for barrel cooling. It has dual Picatinny rails at the top, which is standard on the AK12. But then the AK12 kind of looks different than this. Also, the matte green finish is also one of the standard colors of the AK12. That's why I really thought at first that it was that. But there are a lot of tells that it isn't. First of all, is this one. This one is fixed. And I know that on Airsoft, it's usually fixed. But on this one, even if you see the housing, how they tried to replicate the real thing, this is a replica of the AK47 housing. For that, right? And also, the legendary and famous banana magazine. The angle is so AK47. I know the AK74 and the AK12 also have kind of like a banana magazine, but it's sloped a little bit less than this one because the 5.56 ammunition allows for that, because this part it doesn't have to angle itself and curve itself too much. So this one, because it's curved like this, this is an AK magazine, and an extended one. From the looks of it, it's really long. It's actually kind of awkwardly long, but then that's what you get. And I hope it loads a lot more than what it should. So if it loads more than 20, I'm happy with that. The stock kind of looks weird. It actually moves like that. I don't really know why you would use that, but if you want to use that, then get this. You can get that. Like looking at it now, this looks like a really short stock. Come on, it's just as big as my hand. Well, let's see about it. So the AK47. It would be weird if there was one of you out there who doesn't even know what the AK47 is, or hasn't heard of the AK47, or at least maybe have seen it in like probably movies. The AK-47 is a very, very famous weapon. It originated in Russia. It was designed by Mikhail Kalashnikov in 1947, just 1 year after the World War. He designed this. I know the story goes like he was recovering from battles in the war, and there was one soldier there with him in the hospital and said, why in Russia there's only one rifle for 2-3 people, while the Germans had automatic rifles, all of them had. And then that made him think and ponder, and it kind of hit him in a way that he wanted to change things like that, with a little bit of love for his country. And so he started to develop, when he was better, he started to develop the AK, the Kalashnikov. It was a gas-operated 7.62 by 39mm assault rifle. And then at first it wasn't really a good gun. It really took a lot of inspiration from the Sturmgewehr 44. That was one of the first fully automatic rifles. I think it's German. It's a German gun. It also had kind of a banana magazine. And then Kalashnikov tried to make one which is the AK47 that had a lot of wood on it. I could show you one. I have one. This is what they made. This one is the XM239. I'm gonna have a review on this too. This one is the AK. So it had wooden fixtures on it, and it had a lot of stuff that were very, very easy to make and mass produced in Russia. So that was one of the cool things about the AK. And so see, you could see that some of the things here resemble the AK, like this one, the fire selector, but on this one it doesn't work. The pike staff, or the grip, it's very modern on this one. It's kind of like a tactical version of the AK. Here you can see, that's why I'm trying to tell you that it's an extended mag, because it's a lot bigger than my AKs, and this is kind of an actual size AK. So it's there. It's a little bit, well, not just a little bit, it's a lot longer than this one. Right? So the charging handle is on the right place. It's here. This one doesn't work, but on this one, that's how you rack the spring of the gun. Right? And as you can see now, this doesn't even fit the frame. So this is a lot smaller AK, and I think it's not the right size, and I don't have to prove it anymore. The AK is about 880 millimeters long, and this is a lot smaller than that. Probably this is just somewhere 72 millimeters. Yeah, 70 to 72 millimeters for the M977. That's sub-carbine length. So this is not a good replica in terms of that sense. That it's not an actual size for an AK, not even an actual size for a gun, especially the buttstock, which is really short. But as I was saying, it has a lot of parts that are similar to the AK. The upper receiver is also very similar, but this one has a Picatinny rail on it. The rear sight, this one, this is how you adjust it on a real AK. But on this one, it goes up and down, but you can't adjust it. There's no lock. Okay, so for the front sight, this is the front sight. It also has a front sight on this one, kind of the same as this one. But this one, in the front, you may be seeing this flaming pig. This is actually a real thing. See, this is from Noveske. Noveske, I'm not sure how to explain them, but they're kind of like they build guns and they upgrade guns to make it look like these, make it look much more tactical, much more equipped with a lot of stuff, and they just make it cooler. And so Noveske is one of those, but sorry to say, I've never seen them make an AK. I've seen them make the M4 and all those other stuff, but the AK, I've never seen them make an AK. So that's one of the things that are not accurate on this one, is that it has Noveske over there, but I've never seen a Noveske upgraded AK. But then let's just say that it is. So, alright, I'm actually quite excited about this, even though I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't really resemble what an AK stands for, and like what the size of a real AK is. But I hope it performs well and that it's fun to use. And probably I would just remove the buttstock on this one, make it look like a Draco. Yeah, probably that looks cooler. I hope it's accurate and all that. So give me a few days. I'm gonna try this out, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. So stay tuned, guys. It's coming up. So, first of all, for the build quality, is actually kind of good. The, the overall build, like the plastic of it, is a little bit hard. It's actually a good kind of plastic. It's a little bit more like the M977, not like the M690 shotgun and the G36C. That's actually very cheap plastic. This one is actually not bad. It's a bit harder, a little bit more substantial. That looks like it's not gonna break. But then I'm telling you, as always, don't drop it or else you're gonna have a bad day. Right. So aside from that, the realism. Sorry to say, but yeah, it's really just not that real. Especially because this is an AK47 and it should be 88 centimeters long. I could grab once again my AK47 right here. See how far that is? My AK47 doesn't even fit the frame. See? But you can see, you could compare the buttstock. It's so much smaller than the AK47. The AK47 even reaches the grip. So it's really hard to put this on your shoulder. Maybe it's better for people who are a little bit smaller or for kids. Then we're talking about realism here, so it's not that real because this, sorry to say, this is a small gun. I know the hype behind it. A lot of people like it, want to buy it because it looks cool, and I admit it does look cool. It looks very tactical. I really love the two-tone combination on it, the olive green and the black. I like how it was like imagined as a Noveske upgraded AK47, although I know that Noveske, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen a Noveske AK47 build. But then, yeah, looks cool, but it just isn't that real. For power and accuracy, it's actually not that strong and also not that accurate. And I have to address this one thing because people have been telling me that this is a two-shot airsoft, that it shoots 2 pellets at once whenever you shoot. And I was kind of skeptical about that, but at the same time I wanted to try it out because of that, because that's kind of cool. Which also kind of made me think, is this really an AK-47 or is this an AN-94? The AN-94 is known for its 2-shot burst. It's very, very, very fast 2-shot burst, as in very fast. And their philosophy behind it was like 2 shots, 2 bullets in the same hole that fast, because they think that when you shoot your targets, it's more devastating to put 2 bullets inside that hole, because one, it breaks the armor or the thing you have to penetrate, and the other one penetrates inside it. So that's kind of a really devastating thing to think about. So if it was like that, well, maybe it's an AN-94, but then it doesn't look like one. Sorry, but it doesn't look like one. So let me explain. And once again, sorry to say, but it's not a 2-round burst. It doesn't shoot 2 rounds. It's actually a fault in the overall design. It was a fault in the engineering of the mechanism inside. Let me show you. Right. So also about the magazine, it's actually not an extended magazine. You could literally chop off this part and it would work the same. It's a 19 to 20 round magazine. Here, you manually load it. Right, so let's put that in. This is a 20 round, but this, I think I just put 18 inside. Right, that's how you put it. That's how you wrap the handle. See that? Did you hear that? One came out right away. And then I have this with me. Let's take a shot. Oh, so why is there another one? Because so I guess that's what you mean by the 2-round burst that it does. So let's do that again, and then watch for it. Listen for it. You're gonna hear that one of the 2 pellets will be rolling down the barrel. Oh, there it goes. It went out. And then when I take a shot, see, I'll shoot it here so you can see it makes a hole. See that? So it's not really a 2-round burst. It's actually a fault in the design. This should be only shooting 1, but then it shoots 2. But you can make it shoot 2, but you really have to not tilt it. So you rack it like that. There you go, it doesn't tilt. And then when you shoot it, it's gonna shoot both out. Yeah, here you go. Whoops. And then here I will tell you the dangers of that 2-shot burst. And then we just had a sample of it now. Look at that. It burst the whole front part out. Why did that happen? Because the pellets, I started to tilt the gun. The pellets started traveling through the barrel, but ever so slowly because I wasn't pointing at a really bad angle. And then I decided to take the shot because I was aiming at this with the pellet halfway down the barrel. Therefore, what happens is the other pellet is gonna go straight at this one. It's not gonna be both of them flying at the same time. It's gonna be this one colliding with that, and that could spell disaster for the barrel of your airsoft, for your BBs. These are a little bit extra strong, but if you use the ones that come with this one, the really bad ones, probably it's not gonna be a good day for your BBs. And see what happened? It launches it in a different direction. That's why it didn't fit the hole, because it launched somewhere else. Now I have to put this back. I don't know how to put it back. I don't know if it's really destroyed or not. Okay, there you go. That's how you put it back. Right. But then I'm gonna tell you that that's pretty dangerous, and I do not recommend you doing that. And I've tried to shoot this, and whenever I shot it, they wouldn't shoot 2 pellets in the same hole. They would always deviate like that, and that is a shortcut to disaster, because you will be hitting stuff that you weren't planning to hit, and that is very dangerous, and I do not recommend that. And if you do plan to use this and buy it, always wait for it to fall down first inside there. It's gonna fall there inside before you take the shot. Do not attempt to shoot it at the same time. The only time you could probably attempt it, but I do not recommend, is when you haven't made it fall down when it hasn't traveled the barrel yet. So it's beside each other. Therefore, if you shoot, they shoot at the same time, kinda. But then that's very hard to do, because it's really hard to keep it on a very balanced plane when you're using it. Therefore, I do not recommend you doing that either. Therefore, power and accuracy, it's not that accurate because of that. And also because of the front sight, actually. I'm gonna tell you about this. This is too high for an AK47. An AK47, it extends like that, but it's really far in the front, and the barrel is really low. That's why this one is a little bit high, especially because this one doesn't lock into place. And if it does lock into place, that means you're aiming high. So that's not how it works. So then what happens is, whenever I try to aim this, I have to aim here. And when I aim here, that's when it hits my target. It kind of does hit the target, but it just blocks your view, so you gotta deal with that. But then it's also not that accurate, and the range is also not that far. The power is also decent. It's not that strong. For the fun factor and the usability, it's very easy to use because of the charging handle, but the thing is, it's not ambidextrous, so you're gonna have to use either one of your hands to do it. So usually you use your right hand while you're holding here, but you're gonna have to put your hand off the trigger for it. So that's how it works. Fun factor, it depends on what you really define as fun, because to me, fun would mean it works well, but it also feels real. And then here we go again with the fact that this is just not as real as it should be, because it's a little bit smaller than the real one. Not just a little bit, it's a lot smaller than the real one. The stock, it's really hard to use it because I have to really hold it so close to my shoulder that it becomes hard to aim, and my cheek falls here and it's very sharp. That's why it's very uncomfortable. But if your fun is having something cool in your hand, and this looks really cool, I admit that, it looks really nice, and then probably it will be very fun for you. But then another thing that I guess would contribute to the fun factor negatively is that you have to wait for every first pellet to roll down the barrel before you can shoot, unless you want something bad to happen. So yeah, that's my review on this. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'm sorry to you guys who were anticipating on like buying this, wanted to buy this because it looks cool. But yes, I do admit it looks cool, but I really try to do my reviews really without any bias, I do have some personal preferences, but I do throw that out of the way whenever I review one of the guns. But I do make it very transparent to you what my preferences are. And as I said, one of my preferences is I want it to look and feel real. But this one doesn't have that, and I'm gonna tell you I'm disappointed with that. But then you don't have to take my opinion for it. You just have to take what it really is. It's not the right size. And if that's okay with you, then by all means, go and get this. It's on Lazada right now. It's on Shopee. And if you think you're gonna have fun with it, then why not? Who am I to stop you? And that's the goal, of course, of doing this review, because I want to help you guys know more about it. Not just tell you my opinion about it, but I will tell you my opinion about it to be transparent. But my real agenda would be to really strip it one by one and to show you what it's all about. And I hope that I was able to do that for you. And I know it's very hard to bank on just looking at reviews on Lazada or on Shopee or just the pictures. That's why I buy these, to help you guys, so that you could see really how it works and how it fares. And now you know more about this M977 AK47 type Airsoft. So if you like this video, please leave a like and please subscribe to my channel for more Airsoft videos. And as I always say, not just Airsoft videos, a lot of other things, a lot of cool things, I hope. And I found this cool, but unfortunately, it didn't just live up to my expectations. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.